I just want to take time to say thank you for my family, my two beautiful, beautiful, handsome, striking sons, Walker and Texas Ranger, or TR as we call him.
I'm gonna come at you like a spider monkey.
Welcome back to Disc and Ball's Golf Channel, where today we're checking out two mid-ranges from Lone Star Discs. We got the, maybe I'll put it right side up, the Texas Ranger and the Walker. I did that in the wrong order, whatever. The Walker, Texas Ranger. Let's see how they fly. So the Texas Ranger, as indicated by its numbers, kind of a neutral, kind of Buzzz-like. It is a, I'm curious, I got the glow plastic because I know Bravo and Glow from Lone Star tend to be like the more stable discs, and I was concerned that it would be a little too flippy. So it is downwind for the initial toss. We'll be throwing back and forth in the wind. The Walker, of course, is a beef monster. It's, from what I've seen, I haven't thrown this one, but one of my friends has one, and it kind of flies like a Justice, which out of that mid-range test that we did, the Justice was pretty solid. Like outside of the deflector, which was the champion, Justice was pretty good. We'll be ripping on this guy forehand and seeing if it can withstand the torque and the headwind. So start with the Texas Ranger first. Trying to just throw one straight and neutral out there. I'll take the catch can down after the first throw and we'll go from there. One thing, the rim's kind of shallow, and I don't know if I like that or not. Okay, that was more stable than I thought. I thought it would kind of flip up a little bit. The Walker, I'm not going to make that mistake. This guy is not stable. Or this guy is not understable. Try and get it on a little ante. Just yeah. Very reliable fade. This also gives me a chance to check the microphone on this guy. It was being a little scratchy earlier. I'm not sure if that was because of just me not plugging it in well. The little mic port on the phone has taken a bit of a beating from falling over in the wind. Sorry. But yeah, let's see if we can get this it's probably too far in the headwind. It looks like about 240, 250 maybe. All right, so Walker, we know we can rip into the wind. Let's see how straight it holds in a headwind. That's something I'm always curious about. Does it hold straight or does it want to fight out early? Fighting out early is a good sign. I'm totally off camera. Anyway, fighting out early is a good sign for these ones. So fighting out early is a good sign because it means it'll tend to hold its line better. If it holds flat, that's what I didn't like about the verdict, for example. It says it's beefy, but it goes flat, 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 and then maybe fades a little at the end. But you get a little crosswind and just stay straight, and that's annoying. Oh, I gotta throw it in the air. Oh, it's fighting out early. Bad. Okay, Texas Ranger. This was actually pretty beefy. I was very pleased, so let's see how it does in a headwind. Oh, it turned over pretty dramatically. It did come out eventually. Not quite in the way we wanted. Okay, I keep misthrowing the Walker. Let's calm, slow it down, plant well. The goal is to throw it out here, let it fade, and knock over my catch cam, hopefully. Okay, kind of close. I might even be in catch cam vision. Let's try and throw this a little flatter, a little straighter. Again, at the catch cam. Knocking it over would be pretty sweet from this distance. Ah, I tripped over the grass here. Gross. So that's a little more of the flip up. It's still beefy downwind. Oh, that went a ways though. So I need to throw it in the headwind more. So personally, I think the Texas Ranger is kind of this glow is similar to a slightly less glidey Claymore. My Claymore's a little beat in, so mine wants to go, like if it turns over, it likes to ride a little bit more to the right. This did fight out when it slowed down, so a little more stable, but a little less glide. Kind of somewhere between a Claymore and Buzzz, I'd say. A little more glidey than what I'd say a Buzzz would be. But let's throw the Walker first this time, just to switch it up. Again, trying to rip it flat, and hopefully in the air this time. That was a good one, I felt like. It didn't want to get didn't want to get flat at all, so I like that. This guy I'm going to give a little more hyzer because he's been flipping up in the headwind anyway.
I threw it on the ground.
The hyzer angle was good, the nose angle was bad. Frustrating. So I think we've hit the limits on what we can determine with the walker. It's going, it's hyzering, so we're going to power up and go with forehand and try and rip it. See if it, bad release will get it to wobble over, or if it still maintains its stuff. This is Bravo plastic, but it's a little flexy, a little gummier than I was expecting. Usually the Bravos are almost like Star in their stiffness, but this is a little more bendy than I thought. So again, throwing that in my catch can, let's knock it over. Oh, needs more anhyzer. That was, counted that one. Okay, I'm gonna try and throw this a little flat and see if I can get it flat, if it'll turn over just a little bit. My Claymore would. I'm not sure this will. I have to release it right, but it's on the in between. So try and release it flat, see what it does. Okay, that's pretty flat, but a bit nose up. Blue, I'd say very similar to my Claymore. So the walker's been impressive. I didn't need to, I did ante it, but I didn't really crank on it 100%. I'm gonna try and crank on it. Let's see if we can get it to turn over. Like I said, it feels like a Justice. The Justice didn't quite want to turn over. Like I didn't have to hyzer it as much as the other forehands in the video that I did. So I think I can get away with releasing this flat and having it still be, gosh, that gumminess is weird, still be all right. So that time it did hold that ante line a little bit more. It fought back. It didn't dump over. That's a win. That beats like everything that Innova has, I think. We're still going to try this guy backhand because I want to hyzer flip Texas Ranger and get it to ride decently. So the walker's been holding up. I've been doing a controlled stack, like the standard stack for me is kind of a control, less wobble. I'm gonna give it the full powered grip and just rip on it here. See if I can get it to, it's downwind going this way, so see if I can just overpower the disc. Not like that. Overpower the disc, take two. Nope. Not getting overpowered downwind, so that's great news. Let's see what we can do with the Texas Ranger forehand though. This one's gonna want to dump a little, so I don't know. Oh, it's fighting out, stay out. Okay. Held that ante line a little. So Apollo Disc Golf had the Texas Ranger with a really cool stamp. I'm not sure what plastic, maybe Alpha, but it was much more flippy, like a kind of a beat-in rock, he said. This is definitely a little beefier. Super usable though, like out here, I'm probably not gonna use something like a beat-in rock because it's gonna be like, adios dude, I'm roller, whatever. So, pretty good. This is actually like, it's not a Claymore or a Hex, which I like a lot as a kind of straight flying, maybe slight turnover, neutral mid-range, but still fantastic. So let's see what I can get away with forehand. I think it's going to need to be fairly solid hyzer flip because this headwind is going to want to get left. So we'll put it out here a little bit and I expect for it to get a little dumpy maybe. Dumpy. Well, I mean, it's like I'm not gonna power up a Claymore in that situation either. So Walker, however, has been holding up very well to these forehand tests. So we're gonna get feisty with this into a headwind. See what kind of mischief we can get up to. We did see earlier I kind of held that ante line and then eventually came out. I'm just gonna like power one and see what happens. Very straight, but really from a flat release it just stayed flat even with a bit of wobble. So better than the Verdict. Maybe a little better, probably better slightly than the Gator even as far as overall stability. I would put that maybe not quite as good as the Justice. It's close to a Justice. If you love the Justice and can't find the Justice, I'd say Walker is definitely a viable backup. Or if you're playing in high winds and don't have a fighty mid-range, Walker is definitely going to stand up to it. So I'm impressed. So there you have it, the Walker and the Texas Ranger. Overall, so the other mid from Lone Star is kind of similar numbers to like an MD3. It's like 5502 or something. The MIDI 5402 maybe, I don't know. Seth would know. But yeah, overall that one I felt like I wanted it to be more stable and it was still kind of turning over more. The Walker absolutely fits the role that I would put it in, just an overstable mid-range, not going to dump over in wind, which South Texas, I mean, it's always windy. Calm day is weird. So yeah, Walker's super reliable. I would trust in any wind. It actually has enough glide that it would, I know it doesn't say it does with the 3, but it's actually gliding enough that it's usable. Like the deflector is just a monster, so maybe on a less windy day, I could see swapping this in potentially. Again, Justice is just as good an alternative. They're very similar discs, I think, as far as flight. Texas Ranger, very, you know, like I said, maybe a glidier Buzzz. Somehow the wind shut off my recording, awkward. Anyway, similar flight to a Buzzz, like I was saying, and like comparable to a Hex or a Claymore. It's, if you want a little more flip, the Alpha Plastic's probably going to do the trick. Bravo is like this, is pretty beefy, and then the Glow is pretty decent. The Glow has the added benefit of, you know, it's daylight savings is about to end, sadly, so get those Glow rounds in. This is a very, very viable alternative. I don't know, I heard Discraft's Glow got better, but if not, definitely solid. So yeah, 2 solid discs from Lone Star as far as mid-ranges. I think they round out a bag well. Probably a MIDI in there just for something a little straighter and not as flippy. I can see this getting a little squirrely in the wind potentially. My friend Seth loves the MIDI. That was actually last video, hole 18, the near ace run. So, oh come on! If that doesn't vouch for it, I don't know what does. But yeah, that's about it. It is fun to have the Walker and Texas Ranger, if you couldn't tell from the intro. But as always, thank you for watching, and hopefully I see you on the course.